a large farm in Rosenheim near Munich, Germany. What no one suspects, here fantastic classic cars are lined up, one after the other. The old barn is a showroom, whether Jaguar, Porsche, Mercedes or Jensen, all of them are for sale. Owner Michael Mandat not only loves classic cars, he also deals with them. Only the Fiat Dino was not for sale, at least until now. It is actually Michael's private car. But he hardly has time to ride in the Dino and so now wants to separate himself from the convertible. The Dino Spider is a stroke of genius from both Fiat and Pininfarina. In the mid-60s, Enzo Ferrari built a new Formula 2 car. He took the engine for this off the shelf. However, the rules of the time required that each Formula 2 engine came from a series built at least 500 times. So the idea was born to incorporate the Ferrari engine in a Fiat in order to achieve the required quantity. But Fiat had no suitable car for the engine, so a new model had to be built. Fortunately, because otherwise there would be no fantastic Spider. In the development and production, Fiat took a lot of parts from the kit, such as from the mid-size sedan 124. Yeah, one must be careful, of course, when sporty driving, because the suspension is, for example, a rigid rear axle, which of course also limits the sporty cornering. It's important to develop a good feel for the car. And also in corners like this, not to overpull. With dual shocks and additional downforce, the Dino is a well-controllable car with a large interfacial area despite the solid axle rear. So the ideal section for the Dino is of course on country roads where you can move it. Winding country roads, which is really fun and where you can also go a bit faster. So the Dino can realize its full potential in the rev band range because the Dino feels really comfortable also at speeds of between 6,000 and 7,000 RPM. High revs, that is what the Spider wants, but it also offers plenty of comfort for longer distances. The Dino is really great, it's a lot of fun to drive, there are no defects and it takes the gas well, moving from below. In the meantime, the powerful engine is now a legend. I just fell back in love again, I really should not get rid of the Dino. We can present the car tomorrow to the customer with a good conscience. The car's really fun. Perhaps Michael will reconsider the sale again, because it won't be difficult for the prospective buyer to fall in love with the attractive Dino. The next morning, dark rain clouds appear, poor conditions for the sale of a convertible. In the showroom, the Dino is again brought up to a high gloss. Michael knows what customers want. For the customer, of course, the condition of the car is important when buying a classic car. Is it still the original or has the vehicle been restored before? When it was restored, is there a certificate and a photo documentary of what has actually been restored? Was much filling applied or not? What are the gaps? In what state is the lower floor? In what condition is the interior? Are these the original seats in the interior? Or have they been done? In what condition is the engine? They want as comprehensive as possible report about the history of the car and about the state. And we have for this a 90-point check, and then I go round to see for myself in what condition the Fiat Dino is. The keys are all present, the condition of the tires, what the condition of the body is, gap sizes, thickness of paint layers, how the glazing is, and the interior. Then the prospective buyer comes already to take a closer look at the Dino. Well, Mr. Market, here is the good piece, the Fiat Dino Spider, first series. That is one of the first construction year, 67, and is still in a really good condition. Was completely restored. Outside on the body, worked with a lot of tin, with a little filler. Is in a good condition, we can look at it. The inside is still the original condition, giving the car a very nice charm and a beautiful patina. This is a really nice classic car.
What interests me is, of course, always the rust. Fiats are relatively prone to the rust as far as I know. What do the sills look like?
The customer likes the discreet charm of the Dino. A comparable Ferrari Dino with the same machine would be too conspicuous for him. Typical weakness in the Dino is naturally the rusting, notably in the wheel arches, rear fender and on the A-pillar. A lot of Italians have that because of the sheet metal used at the time. It was not super good, and also corrosion protection was not available.
A-pillar is still a topic. Glazing, sealing.
Yeah, they're very prone to rust.
Yes. The chrome looks very good to me. Has it been repaired or is it original?
The chrome has been completely repaired in the course of the restoration. The parts that were still good stayed on, and the other parts were completely newly chrome plated. Here we can also measure the paint thickness. The condition and the paint thickness, so to speak. We have 404 on the electromagnetic gauge. That exactly shows you that it was repainted once and a second layer of lack over it. So this is now a device where one measures the thickness of the paint layers. That is how many layers are on the plate. There you can see now that its first coat is the second coat. It was also filled. And there's also a good device to find out the condition of the body.
Beautiful six-cylinder. Great.
2-liter engine. 3 Weber twin carburetors, 160 horsepower.
That was the smaller engine type. I think the big one had a few more horsepower or not.
Right. With the 2.4-liter it was 180 horsepower. It was then in the second series. And this is a vehicle from the first series, which was then still fitted with the 2-liter engine. Is the original engine matching numbers?
Mr. Mandert, is that the original radiator?
The radiator is from the second series, from the 2.4-liter, and we built this in because it has more cooling power, so which is significantly larger than with the 2 liters, and it's designed for driving comfort in any case, and for the heat and the thermal is a great advantage.
So a radiator from a 2.4-liter engine?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Even if it is his first classic car, Marcus checks the Fiat almost like a pro. At a price of 62,000 euros, the car should also be tip-top.
Yes, you spend a lot of money for a car like this, and as you can read before in the trade press, of course, chat with other Fiat fans and clubs, and there is something to it if you are well prepared. Otherwise, the engine looks dry, and let's have a look at the other side, but small chaff mark on the hose, but nothing major.
In pouring rain, it's then off on the test drive. Not the best preconditions for the sale of convertible. But in Marcus, the spark seems to be there in spite of the weather. Now we drive the car first slowly warm until it reaches operating temperature and remain at the lowest speed range. Yeah, we can bring it up to 3,000 now.
Good. Yes, the sound appeals already, because you realize that you are driving a nice car. You can notice the Ferrari engine.
Yeah, definitely. This is, of course, a sports car from the late 60s, which you can hear from the sound.
Yes, excellent. The emotions that you imagine come across.
Spare parts situation for the Fiat is generally good. Only parts of the transmission are no longer available. There, only expensive reproductions often help. Accordingly, care should be taken with the shift. Marcus still has to learn that. The next we take a right.
Ooh.
Okay.
Best regards from the transmission. The gear is now in.
In the way of apology, Marcus was told that the gears are a bit notchy and tough. The stiff steering replaces daily push-ups. Otherwise, the Fiat offers much for all the sporting driving experience. How does it feel for you now you've driven a bit?
Very good, absolutely good. So if you can now imagine sun and the road is naturally excellent here. Of course, beautiful the countryside, the road is great, the car is excellent. You can tell it's a sports car, absolutely. So it is not spongy, but really pretty stiff. A direct driving feeling comes across. This is fun.
I'm pleased. With proper care, the Fiat is quite suitable for everyday use, but as with any classic car, it applies a look ahead when driving, as the brakes and the safety equipment do not represent the modern-day standard. So if you look now, the oil pressure was there from the beginning, which is relatively good. And now it's a bit warmer in the meantime. Now you can also give a bit of gas and speed up a bit. Developed as a racing engine, the six-cylinder loves high speeds. This is also noticed by Marcus, and he gives a bit more gas to the accelerator.
Yes, because you notice already that this is a sports car. Slowly, the feeling for the car is there, which at the beginning when you get in, of course, takes a bit to getting used to. Now, it's really fun. I must say, that's appealing.
Glad to hear it.
Then please, try the road.
Without ESP and ABS, it's then too risky for Marcus to accelerate to full speed in the rain. When the engine was warm and he got it up to the highest speeds, it was really noticeable how passionate and how much enthusiasm he sits within the car, and how much fun this gives him to drive the car. To feel passion for the Dino is not difficult. It's not just a bella macchina under the hood, it is one itself. Perfect in workmanship, beautiful and unique in shape. A car for the boulevard and the winding mountain paths.
Yes, there's a car that is fun. Absolutely. It is really emotional. It is very, very emotional in the corners. From 5,000 revolution, you really notice how good the sound is. When parking, that's certainly not my favorite driving position with the car, but of course that's very clear. There is no power steering or something in that direction, but it's absolutely fun. The sound is great. Fine car, Mr. Mandert. I enjoyed it.
Naturally glad to hear that. Finally, Marcus wants to take another look at the Fiat. One might find a few rust holes here, knocked out joints or leaks in the engine, gearbox or differential. And what's your impression from the bottom? Has it kept the promise it held from the outside on the test drive?
Mr. Mandert, I'm really looking for flaws, but at least down here it is hard to find any. For my amateur understanding, absolutely good condition.
At the top, tip, down below, top. Now Mark and Michael have only to agree on the purchase price.
Now, how does it look with the price, Mr. Mandert? 62,000, I believe, is in the advertisement. There we need a little signal from your side.
Okay. Then I'll make you an offer now. You get from us an independent report on the vehicle. You need that anyway for the insurance. And we register the vehicle in your name to the same and deliver it to you. You can also pick it up if you prefer, and for 59,000 euros.
59,000 euros, together with an expertise by an independent consultant, and the road permit to my name, and delivered in bad weather.
Okay, then we have a deal.
Thank you for your service. I look forward to the car.
Congratulations and a safe journey.
Thank you. At the end of the day, it is not a difficult decision. Rather, the car has charm. It's the poor man's Ferrari. It is a real fun ride, because it has absolutely convinced. I feel already comfortable with the decision and look forward to the rides in good weather. Absolutely a great car.
Yeah, I'm obviously a bit sad that the Dino is gone, but I believe that in Mr. Marquardt it has a good buyer and a good new owner who appreciates it and values it because he's very knowledgeable in the material. And you have already noticed that he truly cares about the car and that it's close to his heart. And someone like that you can trust with the Dino. Those who want to buy a Spider better hurry, because these Dinos are threatened with extinction.